Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a little chat where I'm inviting you, my wonderful viewers. I love you all. I really do. You guys are just beyond amazing. And we're having a great time. And the blizzard is coming tonight to the East Coast where I am. We're supposed to get buried in snow. And so as a fabulously snuggly snow time activity, I invite all of you to submit your list. This is a list, not one work. We're talking about one piece. Your choice for great classical masterpiece that you just don't like. For whatever reason. I've done talks like this before, pieces I just didn't get into and my Bach problem and things like that. And they engender much discussion and a lot of nastiness. And I just got a comment from somebody who said, that he had the nerve to say that he disliked Mozart's G minor symphony, number 40. And he just got trashed by people. I mean, they were so miserable and nasty because of that opinion. Well, that's terrible. I just think that's terrible. Nobody has to like everything. I can acknowledge that something is an amazing masterpiece, and I just don't like it. And I had the same thing with the Beethoven piano, the 5 greatest Beethoven pianists. Some of the Brendel people. Brendel people are odd. They think that everybody should feel about Alfred Brendel the way they feel about Alfred Brendel. And if the universe doesn't feel that way about Alfred Brendel, there's something wrong with the universe. Because they believe that in the normal universe, everyone feels the way they do about Alfred Brendel. Well, here's a news flash. Most people don't. Alfred Brendel people are a tiny subset of people who think about pianists or Beethoven or anything. And they are not in the majority. They're just one of many groups, and that's it. So nobody has to feel that way about the artist, about the performer, about the work. Nobody does. And I think that if this channel does anything that's useful, it provides a safe space for people to talk about this stuff. Now there are comments I dislike when they get nasty. It's like people say things that so and so was they get personal. Bruckner was a pederast who was an incompetent composer. That's not what we're talking about. It's not about getting down on the music itself. In fact, it's just the opposite. It's about acknowledging that there are fabulous masterpieces that you could appreciate as fabulous masterpieces, but you just don't like. You just don't like to listen to. They bug you. They turn you off. You don't respond to them. The problem is not the music. The problem is us. But that's okay. That's the point. It's all right not to feel that way. And I'm going to start you off. I'm going to start you off with a piece of music that I have never enjoyed listening to. Even though, and for me, it's a particularly acute issue because as a critic, remember, I have to review these things. I have to be able to tell what a good performance is. I can do that. I do not make one of my standards a great performance is one that makes me like the work, because there's some works I'm just never going to like. But I still know what a very fine performance of it is. I can listen comparatively. I've spent countless hours playing music I don't particularly care for. So I have a very, I think, deep appreciation of what the issue is and why it's important to be able to simply be comfortable with your own taste, be comfortable in your own skin, accept that there are things that you're not going to like, but don't feel that you have to, that it's the composer's fault that you don't like it, that the music is bad if you don't like it. None of that's true, except that there are great things that will simply be beyond your comprehension or your emotional empathy or whatever it is. And that's okay. It's just okay. I think we need to learn to dislike things in a healthy way, not in a nasty or disputatious or finger pointing kind of way. So the work that I have never enjoyed, ever, is Tchaikovsky's Violin Concerto. I just don't like it. I don't like double stops on the violin, and God knows this thing has tons of them. I just think it sounds like you're tearing the instrument to bits. I've seen Nathan Milstein play it multiple times gloriously, making real music out of those double stops and scratchings and scrapings, and I still don't like it. I think the first movement is formally dysfunctional. I think the muted violin in the second movement makes the whole thing sound kind of fuzzy and scruffy. Doubtless that was Tchaikovsky's intention. And and the melodies are beautiful. They really are. I mean, you can be absolutely captivated by the melodies, but that finale, oh, that, when it gets to the final ending, I'm so happy. I really, really am. I mean, the fact that it may have cuts or may not have cuts, that always drives me crazy, because as a critic, I have to know, did they cut this bit? Did that mean I have to sit there with a score and see where the cuts are? And it's a thing. And so, I do not say when I mention the things that bug me that they are defects in the music. I mean, they may be, they may not be. It depends on how you look at it. It's not. The defect is mine, because I recognize that the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto is a stunning masterpiece of the violin repertoire that everybody seems to love. They do. I'm the outlier, and it's okay. I'm happy to lie out. I mean, that's just the way it works with that piece. It has never, ever, ever, ever appealed to me, and I love Tchaikovsky. I mean, I adore Tchaikovsky. I want to like it, but it's just not happening. It just is not happening for me. So that's an example of what I'm talking about. You could talk about the things that you don't like about it, the things that don't appeal to you, but remember, it's about your inability. And I say that very directly. People get all insecure. No! Nobody can do everything. Nobody can listen to everything. Nobody knows everything. Nobody. It's all just good, clean fun. The whole point is to find the music that you do love, and if it's something that you feel you should love, like the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto, because everyone else does, work on it. Who knows? Maybe it will eventually captivate you. That's happened to me too, many, many times. That's why I never give up. And that's why I never want to say that it's the composer's fault the piece of music is garbage, because you never know. One day it may just hit you and you may think it's the greatest thing in the world, and then you have to confront the fact that you love a piece of garbage. And why bother? Why waste the time? It's much easier just saying, well, I wasn't ready for it, then all of a sudden it hit me and now everything's great. So make it easy on yourself and on others, and we can have a civilized conversation about these things without all of the hostility and nastiness and, finger pointing and ridiculousness, just because somebody admits that a piece of music may just be not their cup of tea. So let me know, what piece of music do you really, great piece of music. I mean, I don't want cheap ones. It's like people who, when I was at school, I remember during Lent, people would give up broccoli, because you're supposed to give up something. That doesn't mean anything. You give up meat. You give up something that matters. So this is dislike something that matters. Don't come back and tell me that you absolutely can't abide Bantock's Hebridean Symphony. I mean, that's not going to make any impression on anybody. Trust me. Even the Bantockians. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.